This is part 2 of my 3-part series of laptops, trying to help you select the right laptop without making you a PhD in laptops. The biggest challenge most people have is either they pay too much for a laptop with configuration they don't need, or they buy a laptop that will need to be upgraded within the next 18 months. Let me help you make an informed choice on the right one for you. Let's get started. I've identified broadly 6 levels of laptop users. As you move from level 1 to level 6, the configuration and price both go up. You should not only plan for your current usage, but also think about what level of usage you will be at in the next 2 to 3 years. If more than 30% of your activities over the next 2 to 3 years will fall into the next levels, you should consider leveling up. For example, if you're a student today, doing mostly browsing and assignments, but you aspire to learn video editing or game development over the next 2 years, skip level 2 and go straight to level 4 or 5. Otherwise, you will need to change your laptop again in 2 years. After analyzing 150 plus laptops available in the market today, I can say that for level 1, you could even go with a tablet with a keyboard and mouse for more flexibility, and for levels 5 and 6, if you want more power on a limited budget, you should go for a desktop PC instead. Today, we will focus on levels 4 and 5, which is laptops for creative professionals and gamers or game developers. If you want the best laptop for students or developers, watch my part 1 or part 3 videos which I have linked in the description. Now, before we get into my recommendations, let me give you some guidance on where you can potentially compromise if you have budget constraints and where you should absolutely not. Let's start with where you should absolutely not compromise. Don't compromise on the CPU and the RAM. This will define how long you can use your laptop. If you're in levels 4 and above, don't compromise on the GPU and the cooling performance. This will affect your experience of using the laptop for intensive tasks. Intensive workloads need good thermal management or the laptop will throttle. If you're short on budget, you can potentially compromise on the storage. But do not go for HDD type storage. Always go with the SSD. External SSDs are easy to use, but not cheap right now due to the macroeconomic situation, but are definitely an option. If you're not a creative, that is, you're in level 4 or you don't use the laptop for video or photo editing, you can compromise on the display for non-creative use. You can always upgrade to an external monitor later on when you need it. Now, the core requirements for a laptop for creative work and gaming needs are somewhat similar with some key differences. Honestly, if you don't need the portability, a desktop will give you much better performance. Gaming laptops have a portability premium to it. For creative work, and here I'm including video editors, photo editors, graphic designers, content creators, basic game developers, interior designers, and architects or engineering professionals who use AutoCAD or similar software. Here, you will need to prioritize color accuracy, large file handling, the rendering speed, and the thermal management. For gaming needs, I'm including users who play AAA titles, esports, use VR, and pursue game development. The main need for this level would be for the laptop to handle the latest game smoothly and to handle heat generated during long gaming sessions. The CPU, RAM, storage, and GPU needs for both of these levels kind of remains the same. So you will need a minimum CPU that you see on the screen with a power class of H or HX for Intel and AMD. Don't get a Snapdragon for both of these and only a MacBook Pro for creative work but not for gaming. You will need a higher RAM and storage for faster rendering and large file handling. So upwards of 24 GB RAM and 512 GB SSD storage. You should go higher if your budget permits it. You will need a dedicated GPU. An NVIDIA RTX 5050 is a minimum, while the RTX 5060 and above is ideal for 4K editing and AAA games at high settings. A 6 GB VRAM is a minimum, while 8 GB VRAM and above is ideal for 4K editing and AAA games at high settings. A note about the GPU power, also look for the total graphics power or TGP. Higher is better. The same GPU at a higher TGP delivers significantly better frame rates for gaming and creative work. What differs is the display, if you're not connecting it to an external monitor. For creative professionals, you need to look for a good color accuracy of 100% sRGB or DCI P3. For gaming, you need to look for a display with high refresh rates, a minimum of 144 Hz refresh rate. For competitive gaming, go for 165 Hz and above. And also prioritize advanced cooling, as the laptop can get quite heated due to the load on it. And what you should definitely avoid is an integrated graphics card, less than 16 GB RAM and low refresh rate displays. Let's get started for entry-level gaming and creative work laptops, not AAA gaming, not advanced 4K editing and After Effects. Due to the color accuracy of its display, the first three recommendations that I have are only suitable for gaming and not for editing, unless you are adding an external monitor. If you're really tight on a budget, you can go with the HP Victus laptop, which has an older GPU, the NVIDIA RTX 3050 with only 4 GB RAM. The Intel Core i5 13th generation processor with edge specialization is optimized for performance. The 16 GB DDR4 RAM and 512 GB SSD are adequate, and the 144Hz FHD display is good enough for entry-level gaming. The catch: the GPU is old with less RAM, so it is only suitable for entry-level 1080p gaming, not for AAA gaming, and only suitable for basic editing, not advanced 4K editing. Consider increasing your budget slightly for long-term reliability of the laptop. Next is the Acer Nitro V15 at just under 1 lakh. It has the NVIDIA RTX 5050 with 8 GB GDDR7 VRAM, a big jump over the 3050 with the HP Victus. It has the Intel Core i7 processor with 10 cores, and along with the 165Hz FHD display, it can handle most gaming titles at 1080p medium to high settings quite comfortably. While the 16 GB RAM is adequate, the 512 GB SSD fills up fast with games. Both of them can be upgraded subsequently. The catch: the build quality is quite plasticky, but at this price point, the Acer Nitro V15 gives the best value. Next is the HP Victus, which is a big step up over the budget HP Victus that I recommended earlier. This comes with an Intel Core 7 edge specialization processor with 24 GB DDR5 RAM, 1 TB SSD, and an RTX 5050 graphics card with 8 GB VRAM. It also has a 144Hz FHD display, all great for gaming and editing. One thing to note is that users have called out that the TGP, or the total graphics power management, by this laptop is not great, and it does not use the full rated wattage, which means the game performance is capped as well. Also, unless you're adding an external monitor, this laptop is not suitable for creative use due to the color accuracy of its display. Now let's talk about laptops that are suitable for both gaming and creative work. My first recommendation here is the HP Omen laptop. The AMD Ryzen AI variant of this is the cheapest, which is followed by the Intel Core i7 variant. You can go with either of them based on your budget. The Ryzen AI 7 is AMD's newer AI architecture processor with multi-core performance. With a 24 GB DDR5 RAM, a 1 TB SSD, and RTX 5050 8 GB GPU, this laptop is able to handle most gaming titles at 2K, medium or 1080p high settings quite comfortably. It also has a 100% sRGB color accuracy, so it is suitable for creative work as well. Next is the Lenovo LOQ or Lock laptop, which seems to be a people's favorite laptop. The RTX 5060 8 GB GPU is significantly faster than RTX 5050 across all gaming workloads. At 100 watt, it also has the highest TGP or total graphics power in this segment of laptops, which means better frame rates in games and faster rendering time for creative tasks. The catch: it only comes with a 16 GB RAM at this price tier, while most other laptops at this price come with a 24 GB RAM. But the RAM is upgradable to 32 GB if all other specs are suitable for you. Lastly, the HP Omen 15 is the last gaming laptop in under the 1.5 lakh budget. This is a powerhouse with an Intel Core i7 processor, HX processor class, which means very high performance. 20 core processor, 24 GB DDR5 RAM with a 1 TB SSD. It comes with a 2K 165Hz display at 400 nits and 3 millisecond response times, which means it is excellent for gaming. The only catch: this pairs a top tier HX processor with an RTX 5050 GPU. What is the impact of this? The CPU is over-spec'd relative to the GPU. In gaming, generally the GPU is the bottleneck, and the extra CPU cores will now mostly be unused, especially while gaming. So compared to the Lenovo Lock with an RTX 5060, the Lock will outperform this one due to a more powerful GPU. But in cases where you do both CPU and GPU intensive work like video rendering, simulation, data processing along with gaming, the higher processor pays off. Now let's come to the competitive gaming or playing with AAA titles or advanced editing. I'll say it again, if portability is not a main attraction for you, you may find it better to use a desktop workstation for competitive gaming or editing. But if it is, then these are my top recommendations, all of which are above 2 lakhs. You will need the best capabilities here, the top of line processor with an HX specialization with maximum cores for the best performance. a 32 GB plus RAM, a 1 TB storage, an RTX 5060 plus graphics card with at least 8 GB VRAM, and the highest TGP for the GPU. My first recommendation here is the Lenovo Legion 7. This comes with an OLED display with a 240Hz refresh rate and an RTX 5060 8 GB GPU with a powerful 115-watt TGP. So what does all this power mean? This laptop is able to handle 2K high-setting gaming for most titles. The Intel Core Ultra 9 with HX specialization and 24 cores is great for both gaming and advanced creative work. It also has a 100% sRGB display, so great for creative work for editors, designers and architects. Next recommendation is the Lenovo Legion Pro 5. At just 2K extra, it gets you the RTX 5070 GPU, which gives better graphics performance compared to the 5060 GPU in Legion 7. The IPS panel with 500 nits brightness is lower than the Legion 7, which comes with a 1100 nits brightness, which means Legion 7 gives better HDR visuals and better visibility in brighter rooms. Next is the ASUS ROG Strix G16. This again has similar raw specs compared to the Legion 7, with the exception of the GPU. This one has the RTX 5070 GPU, which gives 20 to 30% better performance compared to the 5060 and can be an entry-level 4K gaming laptop, future-proofing your purchase. The 240Hz IPS display with 100% sRGB DCI-P3 makes sure it is great for both gaming as well as creative use. And lastly, the Alienware 16 Area 51. This is the most powerful and most expensive gaming laptop on my list. The RTX 5070 Ti with 12 GB GDDR7 VRAM is much better than every other GPU compared. It can run 2K ultra settings and 4K high settings across most titles and is future-proofed for the next 2 to 3 GPU generations of game releases. If you are a serious gamer or a professional streamer, this delivers the best performance amongst gaming laptops. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you're looking for a MacBook, if you are a creative professional, then the Apple MacBook Pro M5 or M5 Pro processor is the right choice for you. It comes with a 24 GB unified memory which handles 4K video editing, large Xcode builds, and data science workloads comfortably without paging. The Liquid Retina XDR display, which is a mini LED, is the best panel amongst laptops from a color accuracy, brightness, and contrast point of view. The M5 Pro has active cooling, which removes the one limitation of the air. This machine does not throttle under sustained load. While the Apple MacBook is getting better at gaming with app compatibility and apps like Parallels or Crossover for playing Windows-based games in your MacBook, you may be better off suited with a Windows laptop or a desktop if gaming is your main use case. For gaming as a non-primary use case, you can consider the Pro. If you found this video useful, share the video and subscribe to become part of the 2 lakh plus community that trusts us with their decision making. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.